Hey, long time no see, everyone. So I just want to kind of say a couple of things. So I've been away since around this time last year. I've had a couple of oral surgeries that kind of made it difficult for me to get back into the groove of making videos. I tried making a video several times and I just sounded really, really horrible because of the oral surgeries. You'll probably hear a little bit here and there because I do have a little bit of a problem right now with slurring my words. Let's just say I am not enjoying this process. COVID did not really help matters at all, and I've been watching what I've been posting online, and I've been trying to figure out on how to get back into YouTube for a bit because I'm trying to grow my family through adoption, and we got into the program, yay. But at the same time, I still have to be respectful towards the process, and I'll leave it at that. But we're doing good with it. Anyway, so today I am doing a swatch, but you guys have never seen me really do a swatch that's been not a speed paint. So it's going to be a speed paint, but I'm going to talk to you about this palette. It is all colors I made myself. So these are handmade watercolors by Pepper, which is this guy right here. And we'll go from there. I will switch my screen over to the speed paint so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right. So to get into what we are doing today, as you see, I am laying out all of the paints there, starting with warm crimson yellow hue, blue skin, transparent golden ochre, Pompeii red, fall pumpkin spice, Venetian red, Verona green earth, and Mica Lee. Mica Lee is actually a color that it was specifically made and commissioned for me to make by a comic book artist here in the Denver area of Colorado. And I am thoroughly in love with how it came out. It has a little bit of mica in it that's like a golden mica, so it has a little bit of shimmer, but you can't really see it until it dries. So anyway, the other big factor about this is warm crimson yellow hue is one of my marble paints that I make. It is sun yellow and medium crimson red, I believe, and I swirl them together, but unfortunately by the time that this pan was made, it was so swirled that it had already been thoroughly combined and mixed together, so I couldn't really get variations of the same hue or different hues from the same pan. So I just named it warm crimson yellow hue because that's basically what it is. It's crimson with a yellow hue. Blue skin is pink pipestone mixed with primary blue pigment, and it is a interesting blue. I actually adore it. It is very fun. It makes some very muted mixed tones, but I actually like the fact that it's all muted. I didn't expect it to be so muted before, but the moment that I started playing around with it, it was fun because this is like a palette that is definitely more of a muted tone. It's not so poppy of color. If you've seen my videos in the past, or if you've seen my videos, other videos on my channel, you'll see that I've used a lot of like very vibrant coloring, and this palette is very muted compared to that, and I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. Anyway, transparent golden ochre is my first transparent ochre color that I've actually ever made, and I am delightfully surprised on how it turned out. The color itself, when it goes down on the paper, is very, 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 very yellow, and then when it dries, it becomes more of like a deeper yellow. But the good thing is as I water it down or water it out, it kind of blends itself like to this lighter yellow, and I really do enjoy it. It makes some very interesting green tones that I like seeing. It can make a more of a jeweled tone, and for those greens, and also with those oranges. And I can't say enough. It warmed up, or basically Michael Lee is a skin tone pigment, so it definitely warmed up the skin tone. And I do like the fact that I can use that and make a better skin tone enrichment. Um, you'll see that later. The Pompeii Red is one of four variations of PR102 that I have worked with. PR102 is also known as red iron oxide. It also is a variation of Venetian red. And Pompeii Red is a cool toned PR102 that I just like. It made some very muted, it made some muted purples, but it made a lot of browns and some deeper reds, and it's just wonderful. I love it. However, it's more expensive of the pigments on this slate. It for basically a quarter of what it costs for like a full pigment type situation. It basically is, yeah, it's a lot more. Fall Pumpkin Spice is the transparent golden ochre mixed with Venetian red and Verona earth, all coming together. It basically just reminds me of the pumpkin spice, like actual like pumpkin color of the pumpkin spice, not the actual pumpkin part, but just the spices. That's why I like fall pumpkin spice, because the pumpkin spices don't always have to go with pumpkin. So anyway, Venetian red is also another one. It is another transparent color that I got. It is the other PR102 that I have on here, but it is a warmer hue. It definitely warms up the palette. Mixed with the blue, it makes a grayer purple tone. Very subdued, very, very, very enjoyed. If you haven't figured out that this entire collection of paints are very subdued compared to what I normally paint with, if you've seen my other videos or seen other things that I've painted in the past, I just wanted to try something new and just kind of roll with it. Anyway, then I have Verona Green Earth, which is, when it lays down originally, is very, very light green. And then I have Michael Lee, which I explained is a skin tone that I made for someone earlier. While I was talking, you guys got to see the lovely process of me figuring out what I wanted to draw on the 6x9 paper. The drawing that went out was the witch and her cat on her shoulder, and this is me just drawing it out. And I took some of the colors that I mixed, and I also kind of did some swatching to see like what type of skin tones or what type of things I could do with it afterwards. However, after I sketched it and I started doing the inking process, I realized like I did not like the way that it was coming out. So you'll see me switch pens fairly soon with the inking process. I also think I was like, all of a sudden I was in my own head, and I believe, yep, here it is. This is when I realized that I think I made a mistake, and so instead of trying to figure out on how to make it not a mistake, I just basically rolled with it. And if you've ever seen me just roll with it, I just kind of like literally just rolled with it. I just wanted to see what it was that I could do with it, and I did. And so with this painting, I just kind of wanted to test out, see what I could do with this palette. As I said, it's more of a muted tone palette. It has a few colors that add a little oomph and pop, but in the end, it's still a more muted tone palette. It's not something that I normally work with, but after this piece, I was really, really enjoying everything that was a part of it, and I really liked it. I liked on how it turned out. I like what I did. Also, at the same time, while I've been away, I've been experimenting and doing other things with different materials. And as you can see, I am actually using an ink wash pen. The ink wash pen is just basically a normal watercolor reservoir pen or paintbrush, and I added some ink into the actual water container area, and I turned it into a diluted ink wash so that I could actually, paint over it, and it works just like an ink. And I actually started liking it a while back, and I just, enjoyed it. Now, I mixed this the skin tone that you just saw me lay down. I mixed it with Micah Lee, the warm crimson yellow hue, and transparent golden ochre to get the skin tone that she has. I don't have a name for this character, so I do apologize. But also at the same time, I use transparent golden ochre for the light, and then I just kind of mixed in some of the redder hues with the golden ochre to kind of like do the background. Fall pumpkin spice is actually the brown I used for the staff part, or basically the broom handle for this particular witch. And her cat is a mixture of tones as well that I played around with. As you can see on the palette, you can see that I kind of played around with some of the oranges right next to the thumbnail. Anyway, the one thing I wanted to get out of this is I just wanted to see what would happen, what I could do with more of a muted tone palette, and I like on how it turned out. I liked on the fact that I could sit there and just kind of not think very much and just allow the paintbrush to kind of work its way, do what it needs to be done. And I got to use a muted blue, I got to use muted purples, and I don't do this very often. I don't normally do it, but I wanted to do it so bad. So anyways, this is where I started adding the white highlights to kind of make everything a little bit more poppy. This is also basically my area of saying, hey, I used a whole bunch of muted tones. Let me add something to kind of bring out some of those different variations of colors. And I liked it. So, yeah. Alright, well that's it for the video. If you like it, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, follow me, hit the little bell, whatever you want to do. But in the end, this is the picture that we drew on the show today. And if you would like this, just contact me on one of my social medias in my link tree down below in the in the description. For anyone who's following me on Instagram, you'll see a picture of these and the actual painting, in announcement of me putting the video back up, or video on YouTube. So anyways, thank you for bearing with me. Sorry, my speech hasn't fully came back yet, but I'm trying. I'm trying as best as possible. I can't really move some parts of my mouth yet, so have fun, stay safe, and hopefully we can see you next week.